Hi everybody. Welcome to CometStriker. I don't know what to say. I actually do feel honored, and I feel just corny saying I feel honored. But yeah, I get to open this. This is awesome. Strizer's here. Strizer helped me out at AGDQ. He's gonna help me again today. We're gonna have fun with CometStriker. So if everybody's ready, I guess I count myself down and then I hit go.
Yes, let's do it.
I guess I did promise we were gonna play as Lieutenant Striker. We're gonna go on hard, so I guess I get to give the countdown. So I'll go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So welcome to CometStriker, the game that I guess is best described as some sort of screen-by-screen indie shmup, and we're gonna go fast. Keep kind of talking slowly, giving Strizer a chance to come in, but the basic premise of the game, as you can kind of already see, is to just go screen-by-screen, get the stuff, kill the bad guys. It's a shmup, you know how it works. We have this little guy here, who is armed with a little pea shooter that goes straight forward. And we have a few power-ups you're seeing me pick up as we go. And this boost mechanic you're seeing, though, is going to be our main sort of speed tech. It's also some damage tech, though. It does do damage to enemies. The shield actually makes it do more damage to enemies. It also lets me get through obstacles, like bullets from enemies, little lightning bolts, sea mines, basically everything.
The general theme is you don't want to get hit because it causes you to lose your upgrades one by one. So once you have all of your power-ups, you're just basically aiming to hopefully go damageless. I think in a few exceptions you may want to damage boost.
Yeah.
But it's pretty rare. Generally, you're just trying to avoid hits.
Yeah, the only time you do want to take damage is the shield itself. Obviously, as an upgrade, it really is kind of the shield. But besides being pure defense, it also will explode when you hit an enemy with it. And it boosts the damage of your boost in general. So it is sometimes effective to just sort of lose the shield on purpose and let it do the work for you. Usually it's, when you do that, another shield is either on the same screen or on the next screen, though. And, you know, go figure, it's a speedrun, so I kind of have an idea of where items are located in the game. It's like right there. Getting power-ups also gives me some iframes, so I can do things like pick up the shield and go right through that enemy and not worry about taking any damage. So that's the core idea of what you're going to see through this game. You saw me freeze there. The boost mechanic does have a cooldown. So every now and again you'll hear this like little like whop sound. That's the boost recharging. That shield was not lost on purpose. I'm a little sad about it, but it's not that bad.
It's early. You'll be fine.
Pretty much. Oh.
And
Man, go ahead.
Sorry, if I remember correctly, is it Striker has 2 boosts?
Striker, Striker, yeah. I was about to call him Strizer or Strider or something. We have a lot of, of names like this here. Striker has 1 boost by default. So if I lose the triple boost power up, I have 1 boost, one of these little things, which makes me go amazingly slow and makes it just that much harder to actually avoid enemies. We haven't been talking too much about enemies because the first stage really is kind of really basic. You kind of get an idea, it's a shmup. This is Bubble Crab. At least we're going to lovingly call him that because we like Mega Man games. I wanted to actually boost in him to lose the shield, but we should still be okay. Bosses in this game to have a tendency to kind of... Half of them I feel like open with the same pattern every time, but Bubble Crab here definitely does. And the trick is they try to execute all their attacks at least once before they start cycling through them again. So if you know what they all are, you can kind of get an idea of what's coming next. I don't think that's a perfectly true statement, but it's good enough. Come on. You said something, Strizer?
Do we have a moment for a couple donations?
Of course.
Alrighty, so we do have $25 from B-Ran, and he kicked us off with 25 to start, so thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. And we have $10 from KLM as well.
KLM? We'll find out more about KLM later. We'll deal with them later. We love KLM, don't worry. It's all good. Beehives are really annoying. So are spiders. Although keeping the shield is actually kind of important through here just so that now... You know, as long as I can boost through one or two of the little bugs, we're good. Because a shielded boost will kill the little bugs. Otherwise I have to actually hit them more than once and have to work on it. I think an unshielded boost does 1 hit point of damage. A shielded boost does 3 hit points of damage. For reference, each shot also does 1 hit point of damage. One of those upgrades we got, actually the super gun, all it did was make our shots bigger, shoot further, and give me more rapid fire. The damage is unchanged. If we were playing as the ninja, then we would have a much more powerful shot out of it. But the ninja is really broken. It's not that I don't like the ninja, but it really just doesn't show off the game the way Striker does. So, despite the fact that the boost has a cooldown and everything, it really does help your DPS to be able to work in boosts where you can, if you have a shield at least.
Snack.
Snack! This is kind of shown off a lot in some later bosses in the game. You can kind of see that where you can one-cycle them if you do boost into them. It's nigh impossible to do that if you don't. Most shots don't go through walls. Some do. So there's a few points in the game where you can definitely hide behind the terrain as you're making your choices on what you're going to destroy and how you're going to do it. You also have brief periods of iframes, as you can see there, as I'm using my shield to blow up beehives. Come on, beehive.
Because we're playing as Striker, not to give any spoilers, but we're going to get to see a couple of the worst enemy placements in the game later, just because of, if you notice, Striker has the ability to fire left and right, but he can't fire up and down, so it's kind of limiting in that way, and you're going to see a couple rooms where that becomes a huge disadvantage.
Oh yeah. We will. I don't think we see the real why would you put this enemy in a vertical room in the current route. But they definitely exist, where it's like, why would you do this, video game? It's like you're trying to be challenging or something.
We have a couple more quick donations if it's a good time.
Go for it.
We've got $5 from Raccoon Pod, and we have an additional $10 from Backroom DST, who's going to be doing some Portal tomorrow. It's tomorrow. No, is it tomorrow or Sunday? Wow, I have to peek at the own schedule. I apologize. I don't have it right in front of me.
It's all right. So yeah, with this star shot, I want to just try and boost through where I can. I lost the shield, which I didn't really want to do, but it's okay because I got all the hits in from it. This pattern is just kind of nice because you can manipulate fall downs. The Queen Beetle will always dash to the further side of the room, so you can kind of have an idea of what's going to happen. That dash happens between each kind of attack. I have a question here in my own chat, actually, as part of my own stream. This is not related to Solar Striker, as far as I know. Game Boy Classic there. We only got the A rank because we did get hit. This is the best music in the game. Enjoy it for a minute. I guess I'm starting to blow stuff up so you can't really hear it as much anymore, but still. Stage 3 of the game starts to get a little spicy, especially in the second half once we get to the mid-boss here. But we're still kind of okay. For those wondering too, because this is a shmup, there actually is a little bit of a high score community around it too. Not that I've really looked into it, but it does definitely exist. I do like that when you look, the game has in-game leaderboards for time. The in-game time's pretty accurate due to a couple of our good friends in the community. I think Dark Terex was involved in some of the beta testing. But there's also the high score leaderboard. What I was basically getting to is it's kind of funny that you can see them packed together. The high score leaderboard holders tend to be right behind the speedrunners in time, and the speedrunners tend to be right behind the score hunters as far as score goes, and then you have the rest. It's kind of neat. The gems...
It's a beautiful mixing of worlds.
It is. All the gems you're seeing are just points, so obviously the more you don't get hit, you'll start getting a lot more points instead of the upgrades that you don't need anymore. I mentioned that power-ups count for iframes earlier. One-ups actually do as well, which is kind of neat. Not that there's that many of them. But rank, because we kind of see that rank at the end of every stage, and I did complain about it. As long as you go fast and you meet the par timer that's in the kind of the top left, top rightish of the screen, and as long as you don't take a non-shielded hit and lose an actual hit point, you will get an S rank, which is also really good for your score. Obviously, if you're doing those things, you're probably doing well as far as time goes as well. This is the generator, which is where the game kind of really starts getting into bullet hell. I feel like at this point, playing the game enough, especially in the hard difficulty, I'm almost making it look too easy. But this is actually kind of one of the first stoppers when you are playing the game blind, and you kind of get caught here for a while. And now the game really starts to actually try, which is good, because I like it when the game actually has a little bit of difficulty to it. What is going on in this room? Okay, we did it. This is one of the rare rooms where you don't have to actually collect little key chips. Not that we explained it, but I'm hoping everybody figured that out by now.
They still look like the debit card and like credit card chips to me. Like,
yeah, I see them as like a lot of little SD cards. Yeah, you can tell what you need based on a skull or the SD card picture on the walls you're trying to get through. I tried to use the little shield boost to take that out. What is even going on in this screen? That's not what I wanted to happen. Alright. Not having a shield is not the worst thing in the world. It just makes me a little more nervous because, well, I don't have a shield.
And the boost goes next.
The boost goes next. The boost is always the next one you lose. Oh my goodness. How do I still have a boost right now? So, obviously, I mean, the boost just makes the game easier. It's not even entirely a matter of the fact that I also go faster because of the boost. Just the actual survivability of the character without the boost is much lower. Another case of getting intentionally losing the shield and then picking up the next one just for the iframes, the whole set of things created. That's actually kind of bad.
Ooh, that's scary.
It's a little scary. Ugh. I'm like still wanting to use the shield as a boost when I lose the shield, and that just doesn't work. So I'm gonna come in here. This is a T-Rex, as I'm told, not actually another snack. I'm actually gonna switch to the D-pad here. I've been using the control stick on a controller right here. I'm told a lot of people actually play this game on joypads, which baffles me, but to each their own, right?
It still looks like a snack.
It does. But, basically, this boss's gimmick, as you can kind of see there, it's putting up the little walls that make it harder to shoot. And it tends to try to put those up on the same side that the player is on to make it harder. You can kind of boost through it as well, but it's another kind of bullet hell boss right here. We didn't talk about it much, but you move a lot slower while you were shooting. as opposed to if you let go. So there's a lot of times in the game where you will want to let go of the shoot button just to make sure you're getting where you need to go. Let's hide through here. Nice.
Hey.
We did it.
Good job. Good job.
Use the boost to get through. Never give up. Trust your instincts. I make a terrible peppy hair. Shouts to chat. So somebody's, and they're talking about easy and everything else. I will mention the easy difficulty on this game definitely like gives you a lot more power-ups as you go. There's a lot fewer enemies. Some of the enemies change as well between difficulties. And I mean, definitely boss patterns provide much less bullet hell. So if you want to experience this game, work your way up, that is definitely an option. I did say also we're playing on hard. There is very hard, which even has a bonus boss in it if you manage to get through the game on the 1cc clear, as they say, without continuing. And that boss is insane. I actually haven't cleared the game with Lieutenant Stryker on that difficulty yet. I have with the ninja, who despite being a broken character, only has melee attacks, so when you get there, oh my goodness, the secret bosses. You basically need to get one pattern, and if you get it, you can win, and if not, have fun. I do like the dragons on this planet a lot. With the ninja, I would actually go left there, but with Stryker, we get to go right, and we get to name this room. Strizer, what's this room's name?
A whole lot of mines.
The room names are actually kind of up in the top center of the screen. Some of them have some fun names, like this one is Fun Guy, and there's a couple of mushrooms. This is one of the two, why would you put this enemy in a vertical rooms. The other one has one of that like kind of guy with the circle of shields around himself.
Did we actually mention, I don't think we actually mentioned at the start of this level that the mines are the mechanic. Obviously, we're pretty deep into it now, but...
Oh, yeah. They kind of give you that nice little intro screen there. But these reflector enemies are unique to this planet as well. These scorpioids, I guess, kind of unique to this. This is the first time they appear, at least. The last planet tends to kind of repeat a lot of things, so I don't want to say they're completely unique. Scorpioids are annoying because they just like fly up to you and then try and back away at the last second.
Firebar, please.
It's okay. I've played Mario 1. The Gravity Ant is another sort of evil boss casually. I'm going to keep trying to work this boost damage in, even though I don't have a shield. And speaking of those mines, I heard you like some mines, so we got you some mines. But don't take too many of them because they're mine.
All mine.
Shouts to power up iframes there. So obviously the red dragons will kind of chase you. The purple dragons will fire at you. I believe the lore of the game tries to state somewhere along the line that the red ones are the males and the pink ones are the females. There's one other type of dragon that is known as pure evil. You'll see those later. Definitely not related to the whole thing I was saying earlier where there's upgraded enemies later in the game. Definitely not. The caravans are just a pain too. I want to... Especially when there's like a big enemy in the room, I'm starting to try and want to use the shield to just annihilate them whenever I can. Just have to watch out for that sniper and the mines. Ah! What is wrong with this room? This room actually is kind of annoying because you have to kind of play it a few times to get a feel for what the best way to dodge the fire bars is. I feel like I should ask Strizer a witty question right now, and I don't have one. Something about your opinion on this entire game. I don't know. Pick something.
Oh, I thought it was going to be something in relation to that room being called Dragon Shield. My mind was on Final Fantasy. I mean, dragons, Dragon Shield.
Dragon Shields are awesome.
Speaking of dragons, Trouble in Forest.
Yo, I heard you like dragons, but I already used that joke. I don't often like to declare a boss as the worst room in the game. This is the worst room in the game. The Junk Champ actually probably is like the hardest boss that this game came up with. There's one thing in the end game that was briefly harder, and they actually nerfed him. Oh, was I really that close? No, do
There it is to our Mega Man 3 crap.
I just liked the echo there through Discord. So these are the Bomberman bombs. I can't believe that last boost got through. I should have listened to chat all along and used the boost to get through. That was actually not a terrible Junk Champ fight. Oh my goodness. We're still going. So this is actually the last level. The whole lore of the game is that, you know, we've been collecting those power cores so that we could blast this invading parasite armies weird space station out of the sky. And we only managed to blow a hole in the side of it, so because this is a shmup kind of thing, we are legally required to end it with some sort of living space station. I don't know who came up with that rule. I just kind of have to abide by it.
It's like Sci-Fi 101.
It kind of is, which I don't know who came up with that rule. I really like it on some level. It's just creepy.
I reminisce about the Contra heart.
Gradius hearts. Aw, man. White blood cells. This room, I mean, we kind of got this earlier with the bees, but like anytime there's like some sort of enemy generator in a room, it's just torture sometimes to be able to get through it. Oh my goodness, what was that? Just pretend I did that faster. Can we like edit that out and replace it with a faster version of that room?
I was just impressed that you were able to like stay against the wall and not get hit by it like that. And I thought you would have got hit sitting there.
The generators actually do have caps. I guess I should actually explain that. So they're not going to continuously generate forever. There's a point where it's like one or two of each type of enemy on the screen, and it's just going to be caught there. That was another good example of, hey, I have the shield, and here's this enemy that's going to take a lot of hits, and there's a power-up on the screen. Guess where my shield's going? There's a lot to just kind of understanding like what the patterns of this game are, at which point you can kind of use that knowledge to kind of say, well, I know there's going to be a safe spot over here, and just the way this enemy is going to act. Of course, this room's a disaster. Oh, this is actually the good pattern. This is the good pattern as long as you're not playing as the ninja. If you have a ranged attack, you want to see this because it's easy to kind of slip through everything. This, yeah, what did Bobby call this? Nightmare fuel? I like that. So about, what was that, like maybe a third of its hit points left. You do get that sort of, it will pop out of the wall and become even more nightmare fuel. And it kind of retreats into that. Depending on what difficulty you're on, you may or may not see even like all those patterns. But the Robo Dragon is unfortunately always here. The Robo Dragon is always just wrong. Fortunately, there's only two of them in the game. And those panels where you get to go over them and they release the exploding bugs. Those bugs don't actually count towards the you need to kill them to clear the room count, which is convenient.
I feel like the little shield dudes remind me of, I think it's enemies in Kid Icarus.
In what?
I think it's like isn't it in like Kid Icarus or something like that, or I feel like the little shield dudes remind me of enemies in that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly, but they remind me of something that's like classic NES era.
I've got nothing on that, but I believe you. It's just,
I guess, well, shield dudes is probably a really bad term because there's a lot of things with different shields.
Oh,
the little purple dude.
Yeah, I was thinking like the guys with like the little reflector shields. Yeah, the little purple dudes look very Kid Icarus. Yeah, now I've got you. Yeah. We got this.
Same wavelength.
Hover tank is also annoying. I don't know what this enemy is actually named. I just call him the Patra because I play too much Zelda 1 randomizer. Left path is easy. Down path is fast. Right path, left path exists? No, right path exists. Left path is easy. Right path is there. Down path is fast. Right path also exists. Oh god. You have to manage your boosts, or that happens.
I don't even know what happened in that room.
There was a lot of just bugs popping out of the wall, but I think the biggest thing that happened there was that ran out of boosts and got cornered. Just had to deal with it. You can tell we're getting later into the game because I'm kind of pausing my commentary to try and say, like, wait, I have to actually clear this room now. Which is probably the only bad thing about this game when you get later. I think one more Patra here. There is a third Patra. This Robo Dragon. The end. Oh man, I didn't get the key. That's the whole point. You have to destroy this little core to get rid of like this little ghost anti-hero. Which with Striker requires actually getting those 2 keys so you can get rid of his shield around it. And then we get to fight the final boss if you're playing on easy, the Reanimator. Kind of takes all the previous bosses and puts them together in interesting ways. Like those are the crab launcher's missiles coming out of the T-Rex. This is Junk Champ's sort of wall crawler shots coming out with crab launcher. It's kind of neat that it kind of like makes sure you're paying attention. And this is the Bomberman attack, but that's the T-Rex's like little eye thing following you. I got bombed. This is
the ultimate hybrid.
It is. This is its only original attack. Which is kind of easy to slip through those shots if you're moving at shot speed, because I mentioned you move slower like that, so it's actually probably the one place in the game where it's advantageous to go slow. So if you're playing on easy, the game would be over right now. But now we get to fight the final boss of Medium. I think it's called Medium. This is not quite Rangabanga. So the gimmick here is that whichever eye is kind of glowing has a shield, so you have to shoot the other one. And makes it a little annoying, especially the first time you're fighting it and you haven't quite caught on to what's going on yet. This is the good pattern. I think I still want to say relish packets and onion rings, but it's definitely like missiles and Rinkas. Rinkas from the right eye are good because they're easy to dodge. There's this pattern all over again, but this time I'm shooting the right eye instead of the left eye. That little, I guess that's the wrinkle in that can't repeat the pattern except it can? I don't know. Although, here is, we were talking about it earlier. You have a biostation. You must have a giant heart at the end. which if you're listening closely, you might even hear it beating right now. So the heart is also definitely a part where you can get a lot of extra damage by working in boosts. What just happened?
Jet for calling it a big heart encased in a robo pillow.
Big heart in a robo pillow. Oh my goodness. With these glowing snakes chasing me. Nom nom, you can't take damage after you kill the boss.
Alright, I am going to leave you to finish up solo, and I'm going to man the timer for when you shed out time victoriously.
Gotcha.
Good luck with your escape, sir.
Thank you. So yes, if you're playing on hard or above, you get the escape sequence here. This is the game's auto-scroller. The only screen really that lasts more than just a screen. Although, as mentioned, again, you move slower while you're shooting, and this is an auto-scroller, so it's also legally required to try to crush you against the edge of the screen and catch you in the giant Cave of Wonders escape. Shouts to Bobby trying to sing the, actually, not trying to, actually singing the Cave of Wonders escape song from the Aladdin SNES game. That's stuck in my head now for every marathon run, I'm sorry. So, through all those little maze sections, you want to make sure you are not just holding shot. You need to make sure that you manage your boost properly if you're down to only one boost. So, you know, just like the rest of the game. Don't get hit. Don't get hit. Let's go. Ah. I think I'll leave very hard. It's bonus here, a secret. But yeah, the escape's about 1.5 minutes. Time's gonna be probably in about 20 seconds. When we hit the screen, will stop. You'll see a result screen. But that's really it. This is CometStriker. It's a very fun game. It's on Steam. I don't think it's on anything else. It's not that expensive. Go out and get this game. Time is now. That is, I think, a little under actually, it's a little over 1 minute over my PB of, I think, 29:11 in-game. But, yeah. There's a little ending that plays here. It's fun.